What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and it's finally time that I give you a full tour of my new ultimate home office. This is my brand new condo, and this dedicated room is the largest home office that I've had to date, and I've really tried to customize it using every single thing that I've learned in the last decade of being on YouTube and optimizing my workspace over the years to be fun, productive, stylish, and I would definitely say it's been a huge evolution. For those who've been watching my videos over the years, you might remember some of my initial setups were very techy that combined multiple purposes into one. There's PlayStations and Xboxes connected to them, and honestly, those are still the setups I've had the most fun in, and over the years, I've also transformed into more productive setups that utilize the space that I've had. But in my last home office, I was really happy with the layout of everything, and honestly, it was still one of my favorite setups to date. And I would say that this one is almost an evolution of that, and I'm really happy with the end result. But yeah, let's go ahead and give you guys the whole rundown of the tech setup, the actual optimization and the layout, what I had in mind, as well as what the final result is like. If you guys would like to win an item from this office, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and leave a comment down below with your favorite item and your Instagram username, and I'll be picking a winner and contacting you directly on Instagram in 2 weeks. So as soon as I purchased this condo, I knew this room was going to be the home office. It is just the perfect size, and I was trying to figure out the layout, and I tried to emulate a lot of the great things about my previous desk setup while also eliminating areas that I didn't use perhaps as much. In my past desk setup, I had an L side, and I just found that I never really used that. And so instead of having an L side on this one, I went with a massive desk that was able to give me a lot more space for the monitors, but over on the side here, a bit of a drop down to have storage for my media cards, as well as receipts, a laptop charger, and also my NAS storage, which I wanted to keep out of the way, but still relatively accessible to be able to change the drives and troubleshoot it when I needed to. The desk itself is from Bludot Concepts, and it is the Gia. It is a very large walnut desk that is the largest desk that I've had to date. And with the amount of depth, even having 32-inch monitors, for the first time, I'm not sitting 2 feet away from them. And I also love how it has like this waterfall edge that flows throughout the end. And I think it just looks absolutely incredible. I think this desk ergonomically is perfect, and it also doesn't look like a tech desk. It just looks very nice, and I love embracing the wood tones throughout this office. And over on the other side, I actually do have the matching pedestal that is a cabinet that is either one that you could put underneath the desk, or in my case, I actually had it sitting on the other side of the desk. And with the black contrast and the marble top, I think it looks really good. One of the other customizations that I made was actually removing the door on the left side and just keeping the nice open shelves to be able to have my NAS storage for video editing. Getting right into the tech though, I'm sure that is what a lot of you guys are here for, being a tech channel. The elephant in the room is a triple Apple XDR display setup. This is something that I started with one of, and then eventually became two, and then I figured with the amount of space on this desk, having 3 would just be incredible. The speakers that I have in this setup are from a company called Totem. It's a Canadian company, and in the white finish, I think it looks really clean. You can actually stream Bluetooth to it, but in my case, I actually have it wired in to my actual Mac, and it is connected via a Dragonfly to the 3.5mm DAC converter, and I think they sound incredible. I don't necessarily need anything larger or louder in this setup, and so I found this to be a very good balance of something that is stylish, but at the same time effective, and I'm really happy with the choice. As for the tech side of things, the computer that I'm using in my current setup right now is the Apple Mac Studio, and for a number of reasons. I came from the Apple Mac Pro previous generation, and that was the most expensive computer that I've had to date, and there were a few limitations. Over the years, the performance just wasn't as good, and so I finally went ahead and jumped to the Mac Studio, but it was with some concerns. I wasn't sure if it had enough ports, if it was able to handle all the drives that I needed to plug into it, and just like the I/O situation was a big concern, but I went ahead and purchased the maxed out model. It is simply the best performing computer that I've used to date. Apple's current lineup of Mac Studios are really something that you can't go wrong with. On the peripheral side of things, I'm using the Apple keyboard still. I don't really need the number pad or anything, but I really like the color of the silver and the black, and so I continue to use this. And the mouse, of course, is a Logitech MX Master 3S. I've talked about this mouse hundreds of times over the years. Super comfortable, ergonomic, It is also very, very good in terms of battery life. I only have to charge it once every few months. And so you might notice my desk has stayed really, really minimal this time. And by having a bigger desk, I could have either overloaded it with tech or kept it relatively simple, but instead I wanted to separate it and have all of the tech elements over on the pedestal side and keeping the actual desktop as clean as possible at all times. Some of the other tech stuff that is more production and creative focused over on my pedestal over here is a SanDisk card reader. It is a fully modular Thunderbolt card reader that has CF Express, CFast, you can also have SD card slots, and you can change the different modular elements depending on what you need. And I also have a MacBook charging station over on the corner, which is where I have my MacBook or my iPad charge. And I also have hidden phone chargers to be able to charge my iPhone throughout the day, which is something that I have to do quite a bit of. Now onto some of the small decor elements on this desk. And the most important piece right here is from IKEA. I think it was like $30, and it is the IKEA desk mat. It is leather, it is metal backed, very durable, and the reason why I like it is because it doesn't really move around. I have it sitting up against the desk here and with the front lip coming around the front here, so I've had these on every single one of the desks that we use in our office and also in the home. The other decor pieces that I have is just like a little candle over there. I also have like an Ugmonk notepad, definitely quite overpriced for what it is, but I think it looks great. I had it featured in a previous episode, and that is just how I go ahead and keep track of my daily schedule by just writing what I have to do today on a to-do list and just organizing it effectively. I mean, it is a pretty cool and stylish accessory, but there are definitely a lot of alternatives out there that are a lot more inexpensive. Over on the pedestal, I also have a dango tray, which has my keys, my wallet, just a very nice industrial piece. And I think the contrast of silver really ties into the stands of the XDR display. And to go with that, I have a Grove Made pen cup and an Edition scent set. So yeah, that is what I have in terms of decor on my desk. Again, very minimal, but we're gonna talk more about the decor that showcases more of my personality over on the Vitsoe Shelf. The chair that I'm sitting on right now is from Herman Miller, and it is the Aeron. It's a new generation of the Aeron that I picked up a couple years ago, but honestly, any Aeron chair is one that you will absolutely love and can use for so many years to come. I customized it to have the chrome base, for example, but the pellicle finish is just one that stays very durable, it stays very clean, and if you spend more than like quite a few hours on a chair, you definitely should invest in something like this because it will literally last for generations, and I've had my first one for like 8 years now. The rug, on the other hand, is one that I think surprised a lot of people, and it is one that has the Persian style pattern, but it's from IKEA. The reason why I go with IKEA rugs in my home office is simply because it is not like the highest quality rug. It can take a lot of traffic, and at the same time it doesn't shed. Another product that I also have that kind of ensures the tech products don't take in too much dust though is from a company called Blue Air. I have it hidden over on the corner right there, and it's just like a little dust trapper product that creates like a bit of an air vortex and sucks in all the dust throughout the room, and it notifies me on the phone when the filter has to be changed, but also the power of where it needs to operate at. So I just have it running on a regular basis, and I think it's done a pretty good job so far. I've definitely noticed that the amount of dust on all the products is a lot less than I was typically used to. On the webcam, on the other hand, on this desk setup is the Logitech one. This one is the Logitech Brio, and it is able to capture a 4K resolution, and it does a great job. The autofocus is good, the resolution is good. The only other tech product I would say is that I also have my DaVinci panel, which is used for color grading, and that is something that typically stays on the desk. And I have a USB cord that is accessible through one of the XDR displays that I can just plug into anytime. But I also have that put into some of the pedestal boxes just to keep it out of the way if I want to have a clear desk space. So another product that is crucial to any workflow, EDC, or productivity setup is a good pair of wireless headphones, specifically ones that have some element of noise cancellation and good sound quality. But this one right here is the Soundcore Space One, and it not only has a nice clean design, great comfort, and a lot of good features when it comes to sound and the adaptive noise cancellation, but it comes in at a price point of under $100. And when you compare a lot of similar options in the market, it comes in much higher than that when you just look at some of the suite of features. And so taking a look at it itself, you look at the design, it is very, very clean. And the headband and ear cups also have a nice soft touch, and it also keeps relatively cool over long periods of use. The most compelling feature at its price point though is that it has noise cancellation with powerful voice reduction. And when it comes to sound quality, it features a 40mm customized dynamic driver that supports LDAC for high-res wireless audio, which gives you 3 times more detail than Bluetooth. The sound quality though with the 40mm drivers is really good, and you can go ahead and customize elements of the audio experience from the app itself. The headphones themselves are very comfortable, they're light, they look great and are available in a few different colors. And on top of that, the battery life is 40 hours with the adaptive noise cancellation on and 55 hours with it off. And when you want to transport them, just go ahead and fold them, and they fold flat and you're able to bring them with you anywhere. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, I'm going to drop a link down below, and a huge thanks to Soundcore once again for sponsoring this video. But now that we've taken a look at the desk setup, there's so much more exciting things to look at in this room. I'm so happy with it. So let's go ahead and show you some of the decor and the tech that I have over on my Dieter Rams Vitsoe Shelf, which I was so excited for. And it was like the final piece of this unit, as well as my Bludot Console. And we're also gonna talk a bit about the projector setup that hangs right above me and is able to let me like work while also watching some TV and sports. So as I assembled my desk in the home office and put together all the different tech pieces, I really felt like there was something missing. There was this huge blank wall to the right of me, and there was a product that I'd seen before, and I decided to look into it a bit further. And that is the 606 Vitsoe Universal Shelving System designed by Dieter Rams. And it is a shelf that I've seen before in different mood boards on Pinterest, as well as like Scandinavian design pages. And so after looking into it a little bit further, I was like, this is the perfect wall to be able to showcase some of the accessories that I have, personality, things that I like, and also have a nice book collection that keeps it relatively open and embraces the natural light that is coming through the terrace throughout the daytime. And I mean, just be able to have some memories on this shelf. And so I went on the website and actually customized it. And one of the best things about the universal shelving system is that it is a shelf that you can keep throughout an entire lifetime because it is so well built, it is modular, customizable, and as you go on the site, you can pick between different types of elements to build your perfect custom shelf. In my case, I went with a system that has 2 wide sides and 1 narrow side in the middle, with a locking cabinet and 2 drawers on one side, which are a little bit larger, and then a 3 drawer on the other side. And I also just went with like a standard bookshelf, but you can also get like a magazine ledge, for example. And I've also decided to remove the shelf on that side because I wanted to fit the picture and the plant. It's available in 3 different colors, I believe. You've got a white, you've got a silver, and you also have a black, but the off-white is just the perfect level of cream color that goes on a pure white Chantilly lace wall like this. And I mean, it is quite expensive, but for certain elements of furniture, I'm always willing to spend some money on, especially if it is a piece that I think I'm going to be keeping for a lifetime. Some of the different elements of accessories that I have on the Vitsoe shelf include memories from trips, some books of some things that I'm trying to learn. I definitely am trying to read a bit more, but also just things that I'm interested in. You might take a look at this side. You have a Porsche 911 in Italy, and Lake Como was one of my favorite places to visit. But next to that is a participant certificate from Immendingen, Germany, when Mercedes invited me out last year to drive their one-of-one concept car. And that is honestly one of the most incredible experiences even to this day. On top of that, I really love architecture. So having a little house built out of wood here is really cool. And above here, I just have like different types of books that are not really organized in any way specifically, but I'm really interested in business, in real estate. And so I've got books about like Atomic Habits, the Harvard Business Review 100. I read some of those articles back when I was in university. And so I will admit, I don't have that much time to read, but I'm trying to kind of add that into my schedule a little bit more. Over in the middle here, I have the Joe Resolve coffee maker. Honestly, that is an incredible coffee maker. It's one that I've featured in a lot of past videos and get so many questions about because it is just so cool. And with a shelf like this, there's no real like rule of how you're supposed to put it together. You're supposed to follow along with your personality and add those memories over the years. And I'm sure a lot of these items are going to be replaced over time. I mean, there are still some pieces that are already very significant to me, including the Porsche 911 Daniel Arsham Collector's Edition. That's something that I've wanted for a while. And also my interest in Formula One is showcased in the steering wheel up top. But now we've taken a look at the Vitsoe, let's go ahead and talk about the terrace view, the golf green, and also the console table and projector that actually drops down from the window itself via a remote control. Another product that I've also implemented in my new home office setup is a projector. This is something that I had in my previous desk setup, and during the pandemic, I was always at home watching some sports as well, and being able to do that while I was working was really handy. The projector was something that projected in the wall in front of me, just above the horizon line of the monitor, so while I was doing stuff like color grading, I was still able to enjoy sports on a large screen, and so it's something that I've carried over into this office. I did make some upgrades though, and Sony kindly sent over a 4K SXRD HDR laser projector, and it is the best projector that I've ever had. It comes in a color of black and white, and the way this white one looks just blends into the ceiling perfectly. But of course, just talking about the aesthetics will not do it justice, because it is a super high-end projector that gives me amazing image quality, especially in combination with the drop-down projector screen that is activated with the press of a button. And on the audio side of things, I've actually integrated a similar system that I have in my living room by dropping the ceilings down one stud length to integrate LED lights into the room itself, but on top of that, also having speakers integrated into the ceiling. I actually have 3 of them here, and they've been custom tuned to align with where I'm sitting on my desk, and it goes to a Marantz receiver that is inside the media cabinet console in front of me and below the projector. Nevertheless, it is a really cool accessory to have, and I will say that this projector is definitely overkill for this type of setup, but Sony was nice enough to send it over, and whenever I build a proper home theater, I'm definitely going to be taking this with me. So the last piece of furniture in the office is the Bludot Dang. Bludot makes some amazing furniture, and my bedroom actually has a Bludot nightstand, and I mean, their colors are just so unique. This one right here is a risk-averse gray, but they also have like a navy green. They also have a walnut and white one, and honestly, you couldn't have gone wrong with any of them, specifically in this room. I have it over here because this is where a lot of the I/O in this room goes when it comes to the technology. It is actually meant to be a media console or TV stand first, and when you have your TV on the stand, the good design details of it, beyond the fact that it looks amazing and has like this nice triangular edge to it, is that you can also utilize a receiver, a remote control and all that, because it actually has a powder coated metal grill mesh on the front here. And that is not only good for the fact that you can use your I/O remotes, but it also lets the technology breathe, because you don't want to put your tech inside a cabinet that is fully closed off. And so I felt like it was the perfect way to be able to optimize the space while having stuff like my printer, as well as the receiver that controls the speaker and the projector for this room, as well as the internet stuff. This room obviously needs a lot of I/O when it comes to the Ethernet ports, and so everything actually travels over to the desk setup over there. And yeah, I mean, it just looks so good. Very high quality, very heavy duty as well. And I have a few different decor pieces on here, but I've actually moved all the books over to the Vitsoe Shelf. What is also really cool about the placement of this home office is that it literally looks right out into the putting green. Even though I don't always go outside, I think being able to look out into what is like a terrace or a mini backyard in your condo in downtown is just really refreshing. And I mean, going back to the start of the project, the biggest reason why I purchased this unit specifically was because of that private outdoor terrace, which is amazing during the summer months. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video of my home office desk setup episode. I'll show you guys some of the tech, the decor, and where we are in this time of my career after 13 years in the industry, and the evolution of building so many desk setups over the years and taking all these areas of inspiration and bringing it into one. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.